Welcome to Animania Chronicles, where we dive deep into the captivating worlds of anime, dissecting stories, unraveling characters, and sharing our passion for all things animated. Let's continue our review of the 7 Deadly Sins. In this second part, we dive deeper into the epic battles and unfolding mysteries as Meliodas, Diane, and Ban face new challenges and unexpected revelations. Meanwhile, Diane, Elizabeth, and Hawk travel through a town near base to take Meliodas to the hospital. One of the Holy Knights watches them without them noticing. Once Meliodas receives medical care from the doctor, Elizabeth and Diane begin to march to base to prevent Meliodas from being in danger again. Elizabeth tries to stop her, so Diane begins to tell her about the day she met Meliodas. A flashback shows that Meliodas defended her from a group of stalking knights, so she, for the first time, felt that someone treated her like a sensible woman and not a fighting machine. After this, she tries to explain that she would like to be small for a day so that she could be in the same room as Meliodas. A cloud of poisonous insects interrupts them as it literally begins to wreak havoc in the city. Obviously, this is the work of one of the Holy Knights in base prison who commands the insects from a distance. Despite being afraid of the insects, Diane makes a tremendous move and ends the play. So now she has a free hand to go after the Holy Knight, while Elizabeth and Hawk take care of Meliodas. However, Hawk notices that Meliodas is too relaxed, so much so that he appears lifeless. When the doctor enters the room, this is confirmed as a knight appears on the scene and claims that the doctor poisoned Meliodas. Meanwhile, the prison guards discuss Meliodas' fight excitedly, but are left open-mouthed when they see Ban, the capital sin they were guarding, smash the maximum security cell and walk out smoothly as if he felt no pain at all despite being seriously wounded. Jericho, an apprentice of the Knights, arrives on the scene and decides to finish off Ban so that he won't wreak any more havoc, but he allows himself to be attacked on purpose to use Jericho's sword as a razor. Meanwhile, the Holy Knight decides to take Meliodas' sword, believing Meliodas to be lifeless. A flashback shows that Ban tried to take the sword from Meliodas some years ago, all with the intention of making him angry and seeing for himself why Meliodas is known as the Sin of Wrath. Again in the present, Meliodas takes his sword as if unconscious and provokes so much fear in the knight that the knight has no choice but to run away. He also regains consciousness and shows that his wounds have healed without a problem. After this, they quickly venture out to find the knight who was fleeing without ceasing to think of Meliodas' strength. Obviously, Meliodas finds him, and the knight proves to be a cold, dirty, and skillful strategist as he tries to trick Meliodas by begging for mercy, but it was all a facade to attack him by surprise. Then he ends the life of the doctor who could not poison Meliodas, and it is revealed that the doctor was only following orders to protect his daughter. However, the knight begins to attack, and Meliodas defends Elizabeth. But seeing that he has a strange ability to teleport, he decides to flee to safety and sets a strange but effective trap to make the knight fall, revealing that the knight could not teleport but become invisible. However, the knight manages to escape on a horse, and the group returns to the city to attend to the doctor, although it is too late and he dies. Elizabeth weeps bitterly as she believes it is all her fault, but Meliodas recalls a sad situation and tells her that she will not be able to carry out her goals if she is so weak as to limit losses. Although it seems that their paths were going to separate, Elizabeth takes more initiative after this, and they set out on a journey to find the doctor's daughter, as Meliodas takes it for granted that Ban is capable of escaping without help. They immediately meet Diane, but she is under the effects of some spell and mistakes Meliodas for a holy knight, so she starts chasing them everywhere. However, Meliodas also begins to hallucinate, believing that Diane is the knight, so the two begin to fight violently. Meanwhile, Ban moves freely around the prison until he runs into one of the Holy Knights who is at the meeting, and things get tense. Meanwhile, the fight between Meliodas and Diane is interrupted when their reality returns to normal from one moment to the next, but this happens again and again when a child Elizabeth is trying to protect rings a bell. The sacred knight capable of controlling insects appears and puts the boy in trouble, so Elizabeth is filled with courage and puts herself in danger to save him. However, the boy changes form, revealing that he is in fact the sacred knight behind the hallucinations. He begins to mistreat Elizabeth because she provokes him, but he quickly realizes that it was all an incredible strategy of the waifu who demonstrated her great cunning by taking the bell from the knight. So, Meliodas and Diane are freed from the spell, and these two use the holy knights as punching bags. Meanwhile, Ban proves to his enemy that he is no match for him, and that he has only allowed himself to be captured for lack of motivation. On the other hand, Elizabeth insists Diane take her with them to base despite her wounds. Diane refuses to put her in danger but is convinced when she sees the princess's determination. So she takes information from the man who was with the Holy Knights. Upon arriving at base, the deadly sins infiltrate the prison. The only Holy Knight who managed to escape uses a technique to seal the place with magic, but they do not realize it. The deadly sins manage to find the doctor's daughter, and Diane puts her safely in her backpack with Elizabeth. At that moment, Bane appears and meets Meliodas after such a long time. Everything seems very tense between them, and the hype gets all up in the air. But it turns out that the two are best friends and are very fond of each other. They do the typical teenage friend greetings and wreck the whole place, even destroying the Sacred Knight's magical barrier. After this, they all return to the hospital and discover that the doctor survived the mortal wound he had suffered, and that even he doesn't know what's going on, although apparently Meliodas did, since his wounds healed in the same way. In the evening, everyone celebrates merrily to feast that all has gone well. Meanwhile, it is revealed that King, one of the deadly sins, is working alongside Gilthunder. A flashback shows that Ban went many years ago to a fountain of eternal youth, but when he was about to ingest a drink, a loli chased him out of the place. However, Ban kept trying again and again, so the loli realizes that the forest is protecting Ban in each of his falls. Ban manages to take the drink, so the loli stops him just in time using the forest magic. Also, the loli explains that the forest will dry up if the humans start drinking that potion, so Ban tells her that he will leave the place if that is the case. Since the loli can read minds, she realizes that Ban is not lying, so she decides to untie him and introduces herself as Elaine. At that moment, Ban wakes up from his dream and realizes that they have arrived at the place where they will get clues from King. The group divides up tasks to make the tavern work for a few days and get some money. Diane will get customers, Elizabeth will wait tables, and Ban will cook, as he is apparently an amazing cook. For a moment, Ban gets separated from the group and encounters a girl resembling Elaine who faints. Ban tries to revive the loli until a boy arrives on the scene to save her, but the girl explains that Ban was only helping her, and the boy apologizes. However, everything is interrupted by King, who hurts Ban violently, although he does not manage to make him angry even a little. So King begins to provoke him by telling him that his greed led him to kill a fountain of eternal youth, making Ban change his attitude and ask the children to leave the place to protect them. King keeps attacking Ban, but Ban can't even remember who he is. Suddenly, Meliodas arrives at the scene with Diane, and they wonder what is going on. Ban explains that a flying child is attacking him for no reason. Meliodas and Diane realize that the boy is King, who has lost quite a bit of weight since they last saw each other. King leaves the place, leaving everyone in awe. Ban then prepares some food for the children and asks them if they know of a place called the Capital of the Dead. The children reply that King had also been asking them the same thing, but that the entrance to that place is only revealed when someone has very strong feelings for someone who has already died. Meanwhile, King is ashamed that he left the place after seeing Diane, as everyone will think that he is a little boy who is not able to express his feelings for her. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the vast realms of anime. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay tuned for more thrilling reviews and discussions. Until next time, keep exploring the boundless wonders of anime with us.